Hey, folks. Thank you for joining us again for episode 1 of our podcast.
That's right.
Whiskey and Wisdom is dead. We switched it to Wisdom and Whiskey, and then that is dead. And I don't know if did we come up with a final?
I don't know if we were going with headspace and tasting or not.
I like headspace and tasting. You can email us at showmemk. Show me as in show me state. Show me mk, Mike Kilo, at gmail.com. Show me mk at gmail.com. Let us know what you think of the name, if we need to change it. If you have any questions or suggestions for future shows, you can email us there. But thank you for listening. We looked at the analytics from the last show, and it seems to be family and close friends.
Right.
A couple colleagues.
We even have a listener in Japan.
Yeah. We're international, baby. So thank you all for listening. And yeah, let's get started, man. It's been a weird week with New Year's holiday, strange work week.
Right. Short work week.
Yeah.
Right in the middle, though, the holiday.
Then we had like 2 of them in a row, 2 weeks like that in a row. It's so strange. So next week's going to feel like hell. It's going to feel
right.
like the longest week ever.
We're right back at it.
Yeah. And it's going to be freezing. We're expecting some kind of cold weather event tonight. Everybody can't agree on it, though. It's either
10 inches of snow.
Yeah. You think that's what you're calling, 10?
That's what I'm calling 10 inches.
I said 7 inches of snow and with ice. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll get ice.
Yeah, for sure. What are we drinking today, Kevin? So we obviously headspace and tasting. Some folks listening will, that name's familiar. Some you don't know, but we're just going to leave it at that. Maybe we'll explain it one day.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't want to be too mysterious here, right?
Not really.
No. Do you want to explain it?
What?
How we came up with that name?
No.
Okay.
We'll save it.
So
We'll make people think about it.
Let's get into the tasting then.
Right. So this week, through your decision, was to kick off with Evan Williams Kentucky Bourbon, and we're going to move into Evan Williams 100 proof bottled in bond a little bit later in the show.
Yep. So this is my go-to drinker. I'm cheap, and I think the straight Kentucky bourbon is about $19 a bottle, 18 to 19, I think. And then the bottle and bond is only a couple dollars more.
Right. And in this case, cheap is good.
Yeah. I mean, especially with the 100 proof, you get a lot more for your dollar.
Absolutely.
I drink the regular bourbon straight. The 100 proof, I add ice. A little bit of ice.
Oh, really?
Just a little bit.
Well, that's okay. Ice is good.
That's just because my stomach is destroyed from drinking moonshine. No, I have. Yeah, it's just easier to drink, I think.
Yeah, and then obviously we're in the Evan Williams Kentucky Bourbon right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good drink. A little spicy right at the beginning, but it settles quickly.
Yeah,
it has a little bit of a citrus feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
And goes down well.
Yeah. I got. It's sweet too. To me, it's sweet, vanilla, caramel type of flavor. But yeah, I could get the citrus too. Color wise, what would you call? I mean, that's a pretty standard bourbon color.
Yeah, that caramel type coloring.
Mm-hmm. We were looking at the 2 bottles, trying to compare the 2 bottles. They look identical color-wise. You would think they would look different because they're aged. Well, why don't you talk about the bottle and bond process?
Bottled and bond?
Yeah.
Sure. So bottled and bond, what makes it so special is there's actually 6 criteria to it in order to be considered bottled and bond. It goes way back to 1897. When this thing first started from the U.S. government, and it was a way to standardize the bourbon processing a little bit,
Okay.
and to make sure that you weren't getting some cheap, fake, not real bourbon.
Well, there was, I think that wouldn't people add some kind of oil to their whiskey to make it seem like it was fancier?
Yeah, they would do all kinds of things,
Yeah.
all kinds of additives to it, hide it in certain ways,
Coloring and stuff.
And with the bottle, it's really one of the initial methods of quality assurance that the government was getting into at that time. And we do it every day now, right? It's second nature.
USDA, Prime,
Right.
whatever.
Exactly. But it was a way for anyone who was going to participate. You knew that you're going to get a good product. And, there's 6 requirements for it. Number 1 is the distillation season. The spirit has to be distilled during a single distilling season, and it's typically January to June or July to December. You have a single distiller must make it, and it has to be made at a single distillery. You can't move it around and blend it and do kinds of different things like that.
Yeah.
And it has to be aged for a minimum of 4 years.
What would be a standard aging time for a bourbon?
Most of them is about 2 years.
2 years. Okay. And they mix the batches together usually too, right?
Many times.
Yeah.
Mixed batches. They'll mix between different locations.
Yeah.
All kinds of things.
Okay. So this is just a stamp where a consumer could look at this and say, this was distilled at the same time, same place, in the same season, and the flavor is going to be consistent.
Right.
With what I mean, if I drank 100 proof bottle and bonded that was made in July, you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference if it was made in another season, right?
Probably not, unless you're some kind of bourbon connoisseur,
Yeah.
some kind of person who's got a very unique tasting tongue.
One of those weirdos.
Yeah. But it's 100 proof, so
Yeah.
100 proof is a requirement also. It has to be bottled at 100 proof.
Okay.
And then the final one is the label. The label has to identify everything we just talked about.
Yeah, and it's all listed on the side here. Finely crafted, bottle and bond. And this is 100 proof. The regular Evan Williams is 86 proof, 43% alcohol. And this is 50% alcohol for the 100 proof. All right, so
Yeah.
we're drinking
One of the interesting things about the bottled and bond too is the companies themselves that participate in it, many of them don't really put that much credit into it these days.
Yeah.
It's like an old-fashioned thing.
Uh-huh.
Because Evan Williams Kentucky Straight is not bottled and bond, but
Right.
it's still good.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's how the industry has changed over the years.
Right.
But for a consumer, many consumers actually like the bottled and bond concept.
Yeah.
Because it kind of indicates that the skill of the distiller.
Okay, that they can be consistent.
And it's a straight bourbon.
Run.
They're
Yeah.
not doctoring it in any way, flavoring it, mixing it,
Oh.
matching it with something else.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get what you get. And when someone pays to drink a bottled and bond bourbon, they know what they're getting, and they go, oh, this company's doing it right.
Okay, so they're kind of flexing a little bit
Sure.
what they can do. Evan Williams is out of Bardstown, Kentucky. I think they have another location, though, don't they? Let me see on here. Which bottle was it? Anyway, they're definitely out of Bardstown. They're in
They're
Kentucky.
part of the Bourbon Trail.
It has to be in Kentucky to call it Kentucky bourbon. And I like both of these a lot. We drink the Evan Williams. My wife drinks it with ginger ale. She likes it with mixed with ginger ale. I don't care for too much bubbly drinks. I just drink it straight, and I like it. This is one of my favorites. You can get the the handle. Was that a half gallon? I don't know how many liters is that, milliliter, whatever. But man, it's super cheap and it lasts a long time.
Yes.
For
last
some
week we
people.
did the Four Roses small batch.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I would put them pretty similar together.
They are, and that's. I think that's what Evan Williams tries to do, is to be a mid-level. They're not trying to compete with Pappy Van Winkle or Buffalo Trace. Even those Maker's Mark. They're not trying to do that. Just a middle of the road, good, consistent, quality bourbon. I like that. All
So
right.
cheers.
Cheers, man. This is very good. Where is this hitting you on your tongue? Can you explain the tongue thing again? We talked about it last week a little bit.
Yeah, so there's 4 or 3 distinct areas of the tongue. You got the tip, the middle, and the rear. And the tip of the tongue tends to be a little bit more on the sweet side. That's your sweet spot. And then the left and right around the middle of the tongue tends to pick up any kind of sour taste. And then the rear is near your taste buds, things like that. That's where you're going to pick up the bitterness.
Okay.
On this one here, I'm going, it's kind of an odd move for me, but, I'm atypical when it comes to tasting, but I'm going right down the line. Very little, there's no bitterness whatsoever.
No.
For me. It's like sweet and sour.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I think what it is that's the citrus that I'm tasting that's moving around between them.
I was going to say the same thing. It feels like it goes straight from the tip of my tongue to the back.
Yes.
On where I'm tasting, that's sweet. That's a little citrus. That's some heat towards the back end. And then it fades quickly. The heat doesn't hang around and burn you, which is very good. We'll see if that holds up for the 100 proof, though.
Correct. We'll get that a little bit later.
Yeah. So, allegedly, at one point in time, I was making fuel for our tractors when I was in South Carolina, which is totally legal to distill your own ethanol, just so everybody knows. And I think we were getting, I can't even remember what proof it was, dangerously high, where you can't drink it. There's no way. So you'd have to water it down. I think they do the same thing with bottle and bond. We were talking earlier. We weren't quite sure, but I'm pretty sure to get the proofing down, they use like purified water only. You can't use any other chemicals, no tricks, just water. And that's a moonshiner trick too, is you just add fresh spring water to get the proof where you want it.
Yeah, we'll have to stew on that and bring an update into next week's show.
Yeah.
Unless somebody wants to email us.
Yeah, if you know more than us.
Right. showmemk@gmail.com. You can give us your opinion.
Mm-hmm. Now, you and I talked a little bit before, but going into 2025, I'm only going to be drinking whiskey during the show. For let's see, for now. But definitely in January. It's just going to be during the show. We'll see if I carry it over in February. I hope so.
Yeah, you and many others.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing the great cleanse after the holiday season.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I got
Before
a friend
they
of
kick
mine.
it back in.
I got a friend of mine. He's a psycho. He lost 20 pounds between Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. So he's like, I'm not gaining weight. He was just hell bent.
Right. Well, I'll give you 6 weeks to get you past the Saturday drinking schedule.
Okay. See how it goes.
Get your cleanse finished.
Mm-hmm. Well, how about we move into our topic for today, and then we'll take a break in between, and we'll taste the 100 proof, and then we'll get back on topic.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Sounds like a great idea.
Cool. So we talked about, you and I sat down, we had a brainstorming session. We came up with a big, long list of topics that we want to talk about. A lot of stuff was picked out from the episode 0 that we were both taking notes and saying, oh, this would be interesting to go further in. With it being the new year, first weekend of the new year, makes sense. We're going to do a review of 2024, but more of our personal lives. And then our goals moving forward. I don't do New Year's resolutions. I do a goal setting session with my wife. We sit down, say, these are our goals for this year. How is it going to help us with our 3-year goals? How's it going to help us with our 5-year goals? And we'll talk about that some more when I get to 2025.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, so review of 2024 and what we're looking forward to in 2025.
I don't even know what 2024 was.
I know, it's kind of a blur. For me, right. It is a complete blur. It was insane for me.
I'm a diary keeper, so those that might be its own show by itself someday.
Okay,
never know. But in 2 of my diaries for 2024, they were titled "The Year of Malaise" and "Not Much I Want to Remember." Those are not good titles. And I had to go back and think about this. Why was 2024 the way it was for me? And you know what? I can't put my finger on it. Can't really. It was just an unusual year.
Well, yeah. I think if you took a poll of America, they would say the same thing. I don't know what it was, but this year was crazy.
Yeah, it was odd.
Yeah.
I mean, I can name off a few things, sure. Personally. We mentioned last week that I am a cancer survivor, mm-hmm. and that was 8 years ago. And 8 years, almost to the anniversary of my first diagnosis, I was diagnosed with cancer a second time.
Yeah.
So that was, back here in September, October of this past year.
Yeah.
Having to go through that process. I'm clear again. It was a quick process. Discovered early, mm-hmm. thankfully. But we got past that. And then financially, it was just crazy. I don't care what anybody says. Inflation is still moving.
Oh, yeah.
Groceries are still going up, mm-hmm. even though different places may advertise, we're back to 2020 prices.
Yeah,
no, we're not.
Advertising.
That's just temporary.
Yeah.
And it was really food staples, not groceries in general, food staples.
Yeah.
Dairy products, eggs.
Meat, especially beef was crazy.
Yeah. Anything that was a staple that to the American diet continued to rise.
Yeah. Strange.
Right. This past year. And it wasn't just that. I'm a homeowner.
Mm-hmm.
My mortgage insurance went up $200 a month, just like that.
Yeah.
Utilities, every single one of them increased their prices 15%.
Wow. Because they are dealing with inflation also, right? That's what they say.
Right. My car insurance went up for 30% for no reason. I got a great driving history.
Yeah.
Just went up 30%. Just, hey, you know what? We're going to raise your rate.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Do I get more coverage for this? Well, no.
Right. And then, I would say the good news, though, was fuel prices. They hovered under $3 a gallon for the most part.
It stayed consistent, so you could at least budget it.
For the entire year.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the one consistent area. And then, but, like I said, I go back to medical, and medical was tied for number one beside financial.
Okay.
Personally, those were the things that were just in my craw every single day, it seemed like. Lots of meetings with the wife.
Yeah.
On how we're going to handle, the next week. Or if we had something we wanted to purchase, let's wait till this date.
Yeah.
We'll take care of it. That isn't to say that we weren't able to do things
mm-hmm.
or to cover stuff, and making sure that we covered all the needs of the family and still had fun.
Mm-hmm.
But you really had to pay attention to what you were doing.
Yeah.
More than I cared to do.
Yeah. I think everybody feels that same pain. I don't know if everybody is as thoughtful about it, though, as some. You know what I mean? They just kind of spend their money, and this is what things cost, and this is what I'm going to do, so I have to spend the money.
Right. Oh, and I got this bill, and I'm either going to pay it or not, and I'll just keep pushing it off.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anything else going on in 2024 for you?
Well, I lost my father-in-law, which was sad. I mean, but he had a full life, 83 years. And he was a Navy vet mm-hmm. during the Cuban Missile Crisis, so he's got a good story there.
Yeah.
And he wasn't in Cuba, or around Cuba, but he was in the Sea of Japan, South China Sea, that area around Hong Kong.
Yeah.
When he got called back to his ship and out to sea at the height of it.
Oh, wow.
So, interesting story there. But we lost him, and that was a sad time going through that. He also lived with us, mm-hmm. so he was close to the family.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I had a coworker of mine that I had a good relationship with, and we lost. Suicide got a hold of him, unfortunately, and that was another sad moment.
Yeah.
For a lot of folks. And so, those things, you think about those.
Sure.
And you start to consider with yourself, what am I doing okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And making sure, or the people around you, are you paying attention?
Yeah, that's a big one. Are you missing any flags that you could be picking up on. After a suicide, both of us were in the military for a long time, and suicide is it's basically a fact of life with veterans. It's just it's going to touch you one time, sooner or later, and it always makes you question if you did enough to help your buddy out, if you weren't paying attention close enough, or the one time you had a short conversation with them, maybe I should have had a longer conversation. And that's just the kind of legacy that suicide leaves behind, is all those people are really blame themselves. And it's just sad all the way around.
It is.
Nothing you can do.
But I don't want to talk about that all day.
No.
What was your 24 like?
Mine was pretty intense. That was the key word that I wrote, intense.
Well, what made it intense?
Well, our goal-setting meeting in 2024, at the end of 23, we laid out a 5-year plan. And at the end of those 5 years, we wanted to be back to Missouri. That was our goal. So we were going to pay down debt. I was going to go back to school. My wife's home with the child, but pay down debt and go back to school, finish my bachelor's degree, and then look for work in Missouri. That was within 5 years. And about mid-January, we were going to sell our property. We had 38 acres, and we were going to sell it and downsize, buy a smaller home, smaller piece of land. And then that would be a way to save money and pay down debt. So we had just looked at a house that we were going to put an offer in on. And I said, let's wait and go have dinner, and we'll talk about it over dinner, then we'll call the realtor. And we were driving to dinner, and where we lived, it's like everything's 20 to 25 minutes away. So we're driving from the house. It's a 20-minute drive.
This is South Carolina.
South Carolina, yeah. And we're halfway to the restaurant. I get a call from my mom. Hey, we just got back from the doctor. Your dad has cancer. I'm like, oh, okay. That's surprising news, but I had seen him a few months before. He had a dry cough. There was something not right. So we were like, hey, you should probably go to the doctor. They did. It was lung cancer. Actually ended up being prostate cancer that spread to the lung. And the prognosis wasn't good. They gave him 6 months to a year without treatment. And, so we sat down at the table. There was a Mexican restaurant in town. And it was like, what are we waiting 5 years for? Let's go. We're going to miss out on a lot of stuff. We've already missed out on a lot. We want to go back to Missouri. Let's just go. Sell the house and go. And we made the decision right there, sitting at the table. 5-year plan is now a 2-month plan. And
it's amazing what you can do in 2 months that you thought would take 5 years.
Well, man, it ended up dragging out. We sold the property in April, and that's when we moved here. Started my new job May 1st, and I think we signed the closing documents before we hit the road to move up here, and then the closing was like 2 weeks after we'd been in Missouri for 2 weeks. So it was taking a bit of a risk, but it was a cash sale, and everything was really good. We weren't worried about it.
And here you are.
Yeah.
Glad to have you.
Yeah. Glad to be home. Glad to be home. Then dealing with selling a rural property is something I never thought it would be hard to do. With the real estate, everybody wants to live out to the country. You think, everybody says, man, I'd love to live out in the country. I want to move out to the woods. And no, that's not true. A lot of people like to talk about moving out to the country, but they don't really want to. We had...
Interesting concept.
We had 2 buyers before our final buyer, our third buyer. And the first buyer was going to pay our asking price. It was a big family. They were ready to go. Something happened where they bought a car or something about their credit fell through. Whatever. We lost that sale. Second one came through. It was a VA. Guy's getting off active duty. He's retiring from Fort Jackson. They wanted to stay. They're going to buy property. Cool. But they just weren't ready. Couldn't sell their property, but they were going to go ahead and buy ours. It was something weird. Oh, I know what it was. Their daughter had braces, right? And everything was set on auto pay for her braces. The auto pay hit the same day that their mortgage payment was supposed to hit, so the mortgage payment got rejected. They took the braces payment over the mortgage payment. And That kicked them out. They couldn't get approved.
I wonder how many of us can talk about braces.
Oh, gosh.
I had braces on all 5 of my kids.
Did you ever sit down and add up the total?
This is why I won't retire.
This is so crazy. Yeah. My younger son had braces, and I think he wore his retainer for maybe a month. And I was like, dude, I'm going to kill you. If I ever see you without that retainer in, I'm going to kill you.
Oh, yes, repeated 5 times over.
Oh, man. So we finally sold the property. Put everything up in these boxes that U-Haul picks them up and ships them across the country. Moved here with my daughter, my wife, and my oldest son. That was actually fun. We made a good road trip out of it. We stopped in the Gatlinburg area up in the mountains. And that was fun. We stayed the night in Paducah, Kentucky.
Did you go to Dollywood while you were going?
No, Dollywood. No, we went to...
That's right, Dollywood.
We did some axe throwing. This is the craziest thing. I had the best pizza I have ever had in my life at this axe throwing place. It was like a brew pub, axe throwing, and they had a coal-fired pizza oven making, I don't know what, like Connecticut-style pizza, I think it is. Something weird. Man, it was so good. I've never had coal-fired pizza before, but it's the best.
Okay, well, that's good to know because I just recently ate pizza at a coal-fired joint.
Yeah?
It's in Chesterfield.
What'd you think?
Loved it.
Yeah.
And you know what? We'll have to go there sometime.
New Haven style, that's what they call it.
Okay.
I think New Haven style, they put the sauce on top of the cheese, but it's real thin crust. Man, it was so good. I was shocked. I was like, I cannot believe how good this pizza is in Gatlinburg or wherever the hell we were. Okay, we moved here and we moved in with my parents because that was the deal. We're going to move in with you and help with Dad, and take that on. We lived in my old room down in the basement. Me and my wife and daughter in one room, and I had it was frustrating at times, but I had a great time at the same time. Did a lot of reconnecting with family. Spent a lot of time watching Jeopardy with Mom and Dad. Happy hour every night. It was cool. We had a cool little routine.
That's good. And that's the way it should be.
Yeah, and Dad's still here. He's hanging in there. Actually, he did decide to get treatments, and his tumors are actually shrinking from the treatment. So
that's great news.
Yeah, it's good. He's around. And then the next big adventure that we had was paying off debt. So all the money that we made from selling our property, because we bought the place in October of 2018, I think. That was like 2 months before the real estate market just went bonkers. So we ended up doing pretty good selling our property, and we used all that money to pay off every single cent of debt we had. And
what was that like?
It was, like after you do a long road march and you take your rucksack off and that you feel like you're floating. It kind of feels like that.
Good.
It feels amazing. And actually taking on any new debt, makes me sick to my stomach. Like we just bought a house, and I'm just like, oh my God, what did I do? Sleepless nights, nightmares, the whole thing. We bought a camper, and I'm like, we should sell this thing. We use a tent, but we enjoy camping. It's fun. It would be miserable camping in a tent with a 1-year-old baby. So not doing
And with
that.
it being 4 degrees this week.
Right. Yeah. And my old butt is not sleeping on the ground anymore. I've done that enough in my life. So that's why 2024, it was crazy. We went from a 5-year plan to let's do it now. Selling our house, finding a new job. I interviewed for my new job over Skype or Zoom. And that was weird. I'd never done that before. Took a lot of faith from my employer to hire me off of Zoom calls and phone conversations. So I feel blessed in that area. Everything worked out like this was the exact right decision to make. And it was a thoughtful decision. It wasn't anything we, made a rash decision on, anything like that. We thought it out well. We made good plans. We followed through with our plans. And it shows that being thoughtful about your money, your life, decisions you're going to make as a family, it's going to work out. And if you think it out well enough, if things aren't going right, you can make adjustments on the fly.
Sure.
And you're going to be okay. And Some of the worst decisions I've made have been spur of the moment decisions that actually ended up being life altering, and that I didn't think about.
That could be a show all by itself.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was my 2024. It was intense, and it's kind of left me when I think about 2025. I feel like, oh man, I got nothing. I don't know what to do.
Right.
There's no.
Well, come down. We're not done with 24 yet.
Yeah. What else you got?
Well, you know what? We've been talking in personal, but you know what? It's a little bit that affected all of us. I mean, obviously, we had a presidential election.
Yeah.
This year, and good, bad, indifferent doesn't really matter.
Right.
It was still in our world every single day.
Yeah.
No, it didn't matter what side you were on.
Well, not just the presidential election, all the local elections.
Right. Local, the different amendments that were going on. And then, some of the natural stuff. We had Hurricane Helene come through this fall that devastated the western part of North Carolina. And oddly enough, I was just there a month prior. And to see how beautiful that whole area was and to know what happened, I just couldn't fathom it.
Yeah. I bet they never, who would have thought a hurricane would affect western North Carolina like that?
Right.
Yeah, that was bad.
But I'll tell you, we're talking about all these things that were odd, peculiar, unfamiliar, stressful, intense was your word. But you know what? There was a lot to be blessed.
Oh, yeah.
I thought a little bit about that too. We keep focusing on the big things.
Yeah.
But if you take a step back and look at the little stuff, I'm still standing. You're still standing.
Yeah.
I can still feed my family. I can still drive around in a vehicle.
Yep.
I still have a job. So far, I can still pay my bills.
Yeah.
You know what? And I've got my health, even though I had a couple scares this year. Still healthy as a clam. And, there's nothing that occurred in 24 for me anyway that was so devastating that I am not looking forward to 2025.
I agree. I'd say the same thing. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm a little bit of an intense person, and I've been told that. I'm like, dude, you're pretty intense. Yeah, and
you hide it really well on the show, by the way.
So intense for me is not necessarily bad. Some of it's good, can be good, and I am a firm believer that if you push and work through any sort of hardship or intensity or tough time, that you're going to come out the other end stronger. I've done it time and time again. Living proof.
Yep.
You just got to keep looking forward.
Keep looking forward. Be stable. It kind of goes back to something I was doing with one of my job responsibilities this past year.
Yeah.
Taking over a location that needed some work, some improvements, and after reviewing and observing, taking lots of notes, I come across an idea, Latin festina lente, which means make haste slowly.
Oh, yeah. I think...
It was used by Caesar Augustus.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I got it through. I just read it on some blog one day. And I remembered it when I was dealing with and looking at this location going, there are so many things going on here. I can't change the world overnight. What am I going to do? And I had to come up with a plan anyway. And so that's what I was, in my brain, suddenly festina lente hit me. It's like, okay, I need a plan, but I need to be very specific and particular and stable in my movements.
Okay.
And you know what? And that's what made it successful. And if we applied that to our lives in a lot of ways, I think it gives us a chance to stand down a little bit and not be so stressed.
Yeah.
And there are so many things that go on in the world, and you can't control most of them.
No.
So why are you worried about them? Right?
Yeah.
Take the stress out of your life of the things that you can't control. Worry about those things that you can.
Yeah.
And then just take small steps.
Yeah, I like the saying, I think the Army Special Forces uses the 1% better every day. That's what they want. They want to be 1% better every day. And right. I like to do that with myself. 1% is imperceivable every day. But if you look back over 2 or 3 years, that's a lot of improvement.
Sure is.
Massive amount of improvement.
Yes.
And so we'll talk about it more, how I set up my 2025 moving forward. But I have big goals in mind. But the best way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time, right? Mm-hmm. That's what they say. Mm-hmm. So, and that's like the 1% every day. And I'm going to try my hardest to apply that moving forward. Because of the intensity of 2024, we made huge leaps, huge steps. And there were sleepless nights and a lot of anxiety and stress. And so I'm taking those lessons learned. And now that I'm in a different position, how am I going to do this moving forward? And I think we're going to talk about that after we drink this 100 proof whiskey.
Oh, absolutely.
You got anything else you want to talk about for 2024?
No, I don't.
Yeah. We focus.
I have lots of good memories.
Me too.
There were so many things I did with my family this year that were creative and different. And a family vacation, which is rare for us, we were able to make that happen this year. Just a lot of good memories. Reconnecting with friends that I hadn't seen in years. Mm-hmm. And doing some new things. I mean, this is new to me.
Yeah.
This is the first time I ever sat in front of a mic last week.
It's not bad, is it?
No.
It's fun.
It was intimidating. It was like sitting in a job interview when I first started.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? I kind of like it.
I've been on the radio before, and that to me was way worse because this is live. Right now there are who knows how many thousand people listening to everything I say. And this me feels different somehow. Maybe it's just because I'm older. Yeah, this is good fun. I'm having a great time so far. I like the planning process.
Yes.
It's cool. Gets me to think.
Right.
And I like it.
Well, what is it about the bottled and bond? What do you the 100 proof Evan Williams? What is it about this that you like?
It's just a higher alcohol content. I don't have to drink as much. I do like a burn. I like heat on my bourbon. I like it a little bit sharper taste. I like Lagavulin Scotch, which is a strain. A lot of people, you either like it or you hate it, and I love it. I love the smoky, peaty, intense flavor.
This particular the bottled and bond has a very pleasant aroma.
Yeah. I smell more, not flowers. It's not floral, but it's more wood or like when you if you're ever chopped wood and you smell the wet oak. Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of what I'm smelling.
That's a great description of that. A wet oak aroma.
You could definitely smell the alcohol in it too.
Well, I don't know about that.
Not smell the alcohol. Feel it in your nose, I should say. Feel it.
Well, are you inhaling with your mouth open or closed?
Open.
Okay, smart.
Yeah, I like that one better.
You know what? And I don't think it has any kind of the spiciness at all that we described for the first one.
No. It's different for sure. It's actually a lot different to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting hints of vanilla out of like a vanilla extract kind of taste on it. It's a little more
like Werther's Originals.
Yes. I was going to say buttery, but I like your description. Werther's Originals. Buttery vanilla.
But candied, almost like a...
Yes.
That's very good.
Very calm profile. It's not going to scare you in any way.
No, it's not. You think, oh God, 100 proof. It must be like what was that stuff? Everclear? Isn't that 100? What is that? 130 proof or something crazy? Rubbing alcohol, basically. But this is very good.
Oh yeah, it could be dangerous.
Yep.
You could enjoy 2 or 3 too many of those easily.
Yes, very. That's why I put ice in it.
But you know what? You never know how the show's going to end.
Mm-hmm. We shall see. My tolerance will be going down as the time goes on because I'm not drinking as much.
One of the pieces of feedback I got off of last week was the fact that I did not tell a joke.
Oh yeah, you're known for your dad jokes. Right?
So I have to ask you, do you know what the best thing is about Switzerland?
Well, my wife is listening to this, so I'm not going to say what I would want to say. No, I don't.
Well, I really don't have any idea either, but the flag has a big plus.
Oh. God dang. All right.
Yeah, on that note.
Thank you very much.
Why don't you lead us into 2025? 'Cause that was a horrible joke.
Oh, man. Well, we laughed, though.
Right.
You know, so it did its purpose.
I guess.
So my big theme for 2025 I wrote down is continue and maintain. Basically, I'm looking at it like these are my goals, and here's how I'm going to accomplish them. And I'm going to continue on the path that I've started, and I'm going to maintain what I have. I just wrote down kind of...
That's honorable. I like that.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not trying to conquer the world this year.
No. Yeah. One of the things I added to that was I was going to stop shooting myself in the foot. And how you mentioned that you don't do, what was it? You set goals, but it wasn't.
Not resolutions.
Thank you. But you set goals.
Yeah.
I'm really not in the goal-setting mindset, really, for 25. But I'll let you do your thing.
Yeah, I use the word goals because it's hard to really set. Goals is the only word I could think of. I'm also flexible. If I see a goal that is like, I didn't reach this goal this month, guess what? It gets pushed to next month.
Semper Gumby.
There you go. And so I'm not going to kill myself over, pardon my phrasing there, but I'm not going to beat myself up because I didn't accomplish a goal this month. I tried. And I'm going to accomplish it, just not this month, next month. So it's pushing to next month.
That's valid.
And I've even had goals. I will sit down with my list from 2024 when I'm making 2025, and I say, these are the goals that these are the marks I didn't hit. They're going on my list for 2025.
Well, that was a big contributor to my 2025 decision.
Okay.
When I look back at my 2024 goals, because I do this every year, I write them down, and then I keep them, and I follow through with them, and I look at it throughout the year. One of the things I found out was 3 of the goals that I recorded for 2024, I failed to achieve, and they were the same 3 goals I had recorded for 3 continuous years.
Wow.
And I said, enough's enough. Why do I keep stressing me out on the same 3 goals?
Do you want to share what those were?
No.
Okay.
I'll pass. I will tell you that they were.
They're gone. They're not.
They're financial, and a couple of personal ones, and yeah. No, I'll pass.
But it's good. Do you think you were hanging on to something that was maybe not healthy for you to be striving for, or not really aligning with your?
I don't think they were.
Path?
I think they were in alignment.
Yeah.
But they were so far beyond achievable.
Really?
That if I was using the SMART goal concept, they would have been tossed out right away.
Oh, okay.
It was more of a dream than a goal.
Can you explain the SMART goal concept?
Well, they have to be specific and measurable.
SM, yep.
And attainable.
Okay.
And I don't remember what the R and T are.
Me neither. But I know I used it.
Oh, I use it all the time. But an acronym is just an acronym.
A lot of people do it and they don't know it. They don't know what they're talking about.
Right. So everybody understands. Everybody understands specific and measurable.
Yeah. Probably somebody from Harvard wrote it down and got a PhD for it or something. Yeah, that's good, man. So they weren't attainable.
They were not attainable.
Okay.
They were
They were specific, measurable, but when you got to the A of attainable, they weren't attainable.
Right. They were dreams.
Okay.
They would be, I wish I had my notes with me. I don't. But it would have been examples of what I would want my best self to be. And
which is like Superman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you consider what your best self is,
yeah,
it's darn near perfection, and we're perfectionists.
Right.
But there's no way we're going to achieve perfection here on this planet.
Yeah.
And I needed to take a step back because it was causing too many problems.
Okay.
And so 2025, I said, you know what? I'm not going to do that. So I didn't put them on my list. And really what I told myself is I'm going to get through 2025 in calm waters.
Oh.
And really focus on, you know, what you just said. Focus on what's going on right now and improve on what's happening right now.
Yeah.
What's in my life? What's going around? What am I surrounded by? Where am I living?
Yeah.
How's my employment? The fundamentals, right?
Yeah.
And just making sure that everything that I am doing right now, I am doing better by the end of the year.
Okay.
Or in a position where I no longer need to, it's a habit, no longer a focus.
Yeah.
Like it just becomes a habit.
Yeah.
And someone says, Kevin, how is it that you were able to handle this? And I can look back and go, you know what? I really have no idea.
Yeah.
I just do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
But I know that there was a process in order for me to get to just do it.
Right.
And
now you could tell them, go back and listen to my podcast and they'll explain everything.
Right. That's right.
Because this is on the internet forever.
Exactly.
As long as we have an internet. Yeah, that's strange because the first thing I wrote down as for my continue and maintain overall theme, the first one is calm and settled is what I wrote.
Explain settled.
Well, when on my 18th birthday at midnight,
okay,
I jumped in a van and drove Route 66 to California, and I haven't stopped moving since then.
Did you drive, or did you just jump in the back of a van?
No, I drove.
Okay.
Me and my friend drove.
I didn't know if you were hitchhiking or...
No, that would have been cool.
Yeah, it would have been a good story by itself.
But, yeah, I haven't really settled anywhere since then. I still have boxes that I moved into this house that for the first time, the stuff that was in those boxes was put into new boxes and moved here.
Oh, wow.
So I've had stuff in boxes since 1997 that I've moved from all around the country, overseas, back to here, back to a basement, to, South Carolina, all over. And it was the same crap in the box. So we finally, my beautiful wife, she's like, Matt, are we going to move this crap again? Like, what are we doing here? So we went through and cleansed these boxes, threw those old boxes away, put some stuff in new boxes, but they're getting unpacked.
Okay, so you didn't take out the same stuff and put it in a new box. You actually purged some things.
Some things, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there were some things I was holding on to for, I don't know, nostalgia reasons.
I get it. I was just hoping you were not just switching boxes for the sake of switching boxes.
No, because the other ones were too ratty. I couldn't move them.
Right. But you're afraid to touch any of your stuff.
I had like a pair of Ranger beads that I made when I was in Fort Lewis out of 550 cord that I never even used them anyway because I could keep my pace count in my head perfectly fine. I just made them because I thought it was cool to have it.
It looked good.
Yeah. And I just kept them for some reason. I'm like, why am I keeping this crap? This is stupid.
Ooh, look at that private over there. He's got Ranger beads.
Yeah. Yeah. And, so I was like, I don't need to keep this. There's some things I want to pass on to my children, sure. But do I really need my PFC rank that I wore on my BDUs back in 1998? No, I don't.
As long as you have one.
One.
You can get rid of the other 40.
Right. That's kind of, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I kept one unit crest from each unit I was in. That's it. I only need one. I don't need the whole, I don't need to put my Class A's together for each unit I served in.
I actually went nuts. I got rid of all my dress uniforms.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't even have one.
I have one. I have one set of Class A's, the old greenies. But yeah, that was, I want to be settled in this home that we moved into. I want this to be our home for a long time. And I want to make it comfortable. I want to build our life here and be settled, feel like, oh, yeah, this is even in South Carolina, I never felt like, we had 38 acres of homestead. We had pigs, chickens, goats, blah, blah. I'd work the land and doing all this stuff. I always say in my mind, like, this isn't permanent. I'm not going to be here forever.
So when you're using the term settled,
yeah,
did you ever look at it from the other perspective of there are certain things in my mind I need to settle, or there's relationships I need to settle, or was it all just about physical location and things?
No, it is mindset also. I need to be more settled in my brain, not looking for where, my next career move. I'm not looking at that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. I need to be more settled in the concept of I'm not moving anymore. We're not moving. So how do I need to change my mindset to feel more permanent here, more comfortable here, more comfortable with the fact that I'm 45 years old now. I'm not 35 or 25. So my fitness goals look a lot different than what they did back then.
Oh, yeah.
I'm more about, can I still move? Does it hurt to get out of bed? Do I need to adjust? I have a treadmill.
Can you stand up from sitting in a chair?
Right.
Without leaning on something?
Yeah. I did the old man test. Have you ever done that? Like, can you put your socks on and shoes on without
falling over?
Falling over.
Like using good balance?
Standing up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great. Or can you get up off the floor?
Right. You're laying flat on your back and you can't use your hands.
Right.
Can you stand up?
Those to me, I'm like, I'm going to be able to do this forever.
Yes.
So, you can see half of I showed you my gym earlier, which is to the corner of the basement. I added a rowing machine. So I have a treadmill, a rowing machine, a 25-pound kettlebell, 35-pound kettlebell, one 25-pound dumbbell. The rest is all mobility equipment, foam rollers, and I use a lacrosse ball, and I have an inversion table.
You know what's funny is I actually got a gift of 5-pound kettlebells.
Oh.
What's so funny about the 5-pound kettlebells? You can't tell that there's a kettle or a bell to. It's
just
you got the big ball with the handle.
Looks like a doorstop.
It's just a handle.
Yeah.
That's welded together. That's what it looks like.
Oh man,
it's the funniest looking thing. Your 5 pounds is in the handle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for that gift.
Oh, I have my Indian clubs too. I have all my clubs for shoulder mobility and stuff. So that's the kind of thing. Like I'm not trying to get stronger anymore or bigger muscles. It's not going to happen at 45 years old. And you might see a little bit of improvement, but I'm more about health and wellness. That's what I'm striving for. And that's really 2024 I did too. That's always one of my goals every year, is to improve my health and wellness, both mental and physical.
Right. Isn't that most of our goals? Every single year it's health, finance, relationships.
Yeah, and that's life.
Yes.
Spirituality as well.
Yeah.
I would add spiritual stuff in there too, which is another goal of mine this year, is to start going back to church.
Good for you.
I've been out of the church for a long time, since my divorce, and maybe that's another show we could talk about spiritual stuff. Spiritual health later.
Mm-hmm. As you can tell, anybody who's listening, we probably have enough shows for one day of every day of this year.
Oh, yeah.
If we wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, man. I think, when we were talking about their name, right? Wisdom and whiskey, we got stuck on the word wisdom because it felt pretentious or braggadocious, like we're wise people, that you should listen to us because we're wise. We want to gain wisdom by doing this. That's our goal.
And we actually, between you and me both, we have a lot of life experience.
Yeah.
That we can share.
That's another thing I need to be settled in, is my experiences in my life, is being okay with talking about the things that I've done in my life, because there's probably 1%, maybe less, of the population of the United States that have lived the life that I've, experienced things I've experienced.
Right.
a very peculiar perspective on life.
I right, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Funny thing with me on that with life experience is it almost doesn't matter what is happening or what someone is experiencing and they're coming to me and talking to me about it.
Mm-hmm.
I have experienced it directly or real close secondhand, like collateral.
And do you feel like this is not unique for people who are 45 and older when somebody comes to you with some sort of situation? I feel like if you're 45 and somebody comes to you with wanting life advice and you can't help them out, like, bro, you need to do some work.
Yes. I'm 55, just turned 55, New Year's baby. So
happy birthday.
Thank you very much. And age is just a number.
Mm-hmm.
And so between 45 and 55, I have used, and that's another one thing about 2024, actually, now that you mention it, that I was grasping with, is that more people were coming to me about advice or just asking me to listen.
Okay.
And I had to realize that was the thing and understand it. And once I got a hold of that and spent a little bit of time thinking about that, I embraced the fact that someone might come to me and ask me about what's going on in their life. And lots of times it has nothing to do. I don't always have the answer.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm going to sit and listen to you.
Okay. Yeah.
And help you solve your own problems. I'm not going to solve them for you.
Sure.
But I might be able to run that conversation in such a way that you start talking out loud enough where you walk away saying thanks because you just solved it yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about this a couple days ago, didn't we?
Yes.
Look at my notes. Yeah. Effective communication. Called super communicators.
Yes.
To be a super communicator, you have to be a super listener. If you're not listening to what the person's telling you, you're useless. Like it's not a conversation.
Absolutely not.
You're just waiting for your turn to talk. Everybody hates that.
And you better hide your dang phone.
Yeah.
If someone really wants to talk to you,
put it away. Yeah.
Don't even look at your phone. If that thing starts ringing, just click on it or something.
What I like to do is make a show, like show them I'm turning my phone upside down. Like put it on the desk. That's my phone right there. I'm not going to touch it while we're talking to each other. There's 3 types of conversations, and all super communicators know what type of conversation they're in. There's a practical conversation, somebody coming to you for advice, or like, hey man, how do I change a tire on a car? Something like that. There's an emotional, where somebody's seeking empathy, but not answers. And
right.
This is the one that you and I, we kind of raised our eyebrows like, ooh, as men, we're fixers.
Yes.
And our wives usually have emotional conversations with us because they're the more emotional person in this partnership. They maybe not. Sometimes that role's reversed, but they don't really want you to fix their problems that they had throughout the day. They just want to be heard, and vice versa. If a woman is talking to a man and the man's telling you about his day, he's seeking advice. Like he wants you to contribute to this conversation and give some like, hey, you know what? You should probably, have you ever thought about this or that? And he's like, dang, I didn't think about that.
Right.
If he's a good like he should take your advice as a woman.
And men tend to be subtle.
Right. Yeah.
We're not going to sit there right out and say, do you have an answer for this?
Right.
And it's specific. No, we're going to talk around it, and we're hoping you're going to catch on.
Yeah, yeah. And this is the time. What do they call it? Age old problem with men and women. The way we communicate, receive communications and give communications.
Right.
Then you have a social conversation, which is gossip, politics, sports, stuff like that.
You and me.
Yeah. So you need to know what kind of conversation you're having and like, oh, okay, this is an emotional conversation. I need to listen and actively listen and pay attention to what's going on and empathize a little bit, or, hey, this is just a practical conversation, real quick, work, blah, 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 done.
Right.
A good thing is to prove to the other person that you're listening to them. There's a thing called looping for understanding, where you're kind of repeating back, like, I want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly. You said this, and does that mean blah, blah, boom? And then you're.
And how amazing is that? When you say something like that, that person who's been talking to you suddenly goes, ooh,
yeah.
he really was listening to me.
Yeah. This is something I really need to do with my wife more, because I have my face is a problem in conversation where I just am blank-faced and I'm really concentrating and focusing on what you're saying because my ears ring permanently. I'm kind of half deaf in one ear, so I'm really focusing on what you're saying. But my face kind of gives off the look of, I don't give a shit about anything you're saying right now. So it's really important for me to have good active listening skills with my wife to show her that I truly do care about what you're saying. And it's not about me showing her. It's I do actually care, and I want you to know that I care about what you're saying.
I have a different perspective on that because, again, as a cancer survivor, the left side of my face doesn't give a lot of facial expression because of nerve damage.
Well, you didn't tell everybody what kind of cancer you had. So
we'll save that.
Okay.
But I have to make sure that I'm on the side of, I'm talking to you from a direction in which you can see what's going on with me.
Okay. Yeah.
Otherwise, I've had people say that, come to me directly and say, Kevin, why do you look so angry? Would you stop looking at the dead side of my face? Here, let me turn around to the other side. How about this? Oh, no, I didn't mean to offend you. You're not. I'm joking. I'm just letting you know that you need to understand, just like I need to understand, when you're talking to someone, facial expressions matter.
Absolutely.
They matter a lot.
They really do. Most of conversation between human beings is nonverbal. I've learned that in my previous life. When you're talking to somebody, don't really, if you want to pull information from them, they'll tell you everything you want to know.
Right. And this is the disaster of cell phones and texting.
Absolutely.
You cannot tell emotion. They make these little emojis and all that to give you an idea. I got an idea. Why don't you just actually meet in person?
Yeah. Or at least call me.
And talk.
There's a lot of times. Have you ever been texting with your wife and then you're like, you just call her?
Right. Because you know what? You actually get emotion in a voice. Mm-hmm. You can't get emotion in a text no matter how hard you try.
No.
I don't care if you put LOL at the end. You put the little winky face.
Yeah.
All that. Okay, that's all nice and pretty. But the bottom line is you need to get in front of the person.
Yeah. We're kind of getting off on a tangent here talking about conversational stuff, but
that's what I like about this show.
To finish this up, you want to aim to understand. It's the ultimate goal, mutual understanding. We talked about this last show, that we need to have more mutual understanding in this world, this country, in the state of Missouri, at work and in our own personal relationships. Mutual understanding goes so far.
Oh yeah.
If you don't have mutual understanding if me and my wife didn't mutually agree on the direction our family is going, it would be a disaster.
Yes.
Our country right now, not to get too into politics, but we don't have a mutual goal. We don't have anybody saying, this is our goal. This is where we want to go. And if they do stand up and say, this is our goal, this is where I want to go, half the country says, F you, man, I don't want to go that way. And then they are in the streets.
Right.
And I think we could tie all sorts of reasons into that. But we won't.
Right. So 2025 overall, what's your view on 2025?
I tend to be a bit more pessimistic about where we're heading, but I am optimistic for my personal life and my family. I feel like the state of Missouri is going in the right direction.
Yes.
And that's why I moved here. That's one of the big reasons I want to get back here, because I saw from the outside what Missouri was doing politically, collectively as a people, getting more independent, more.
We're stable.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Even though we have little things that pop up here and there around the state,
right?
They're confined. They're not something that's going to keep going. They're one-offs.
Yeah.
For the most part, everyone here is stable.
The word I always attach to Missouri is pragmatic.
Oh, yeah.
We're very pragmatic about everything.
Yes.
We don't overreact. Nothing really gets us too excited. But we're determined to go our own way.
Yeah.
And when you leave Missouri, if you ever lived anywhere else, I've lived in both coasts, West Coast and East Coast.
Same.
And you look back at Missouri, I'm like, damn, I wish this state could be more like Missouri. I want to try to change it and make it like Missouri. And then I realized, why don't I just move to Missouri? This is stupid. Right. New Hampshire was the other option. Missouri, it was either New Hampshire or Missouri.
Ooh, okay.
But man, they get so much snow up there. It's crazy.
Wasn't New Hampshire the last state to sign the Constitution?
Yep. It is also, well, we won't get into it too much. It's a great place for people like me.
I would say, yeah, but it's small.
It is small.
Yeah.
They went back on the, they have gold backs now. Gold-backed dollars.
Oh. Missouri might get that. It gets tossed around.
Yeah.
From time to time.
There's going to be some good stuff happening this year in Missouri. I'll just say that. They're at least going to try.
I would say, you mentioned a little bit pessimistic on the country or what's going on around us.
Yeah.
And your personal optimism. I actually think that I'm pretty optimistic about 2025.
We haven't had a great start.
No. But we haven't 2025 has not been set in stone yet.
No.
It won't be until at the end of January.
And that's the greatest thing about this country, that some horrible tragedies could happen this month, and next month we're moving forward. Like, hey, let's push past this.
Yes.
We're not going to dwell on some horrible things that have happened. This whole country was founded on progress and opportunity, and it's still that way. People want to try to fight against it as much as they can. This is the greatest country on earth. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, absolutely.
Nothing's even close.
You know who says that more than Americans? Immigrants.
Absolutely.
Legal immigrants.
Even illegal immigrants say that.
Right.
That's a reason why they're risking their lives to get here. There's no other country in the world. What?
Natural-born citizens are the most obstructionist and the biggest complainers about our own country.
They're entitled.
Yes.
And comfortable.
We're so used to it.
Lazy.
Yes.
Yeah. You need to travel.
Make friends with people that sound different than you.
Oh, yeah. There's a huge Bosnian population here. So go talk to some of those folks.
Great population.
We love them.
They did wonders for the city of St. Louis.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome. We got, that was back in the 90s, I guess, mid-90s. We had a huge influx. We had Ethiopians, Bosnians, all these people from around the world. They started doing this visa program, visa lottery. But they were settling people in each city by where they were from. Yes. I guess St. Louis was chosen for the Bosnians to come here.
Right. The Bevo Mill area, if you're familiar, was completely revitalized.
Yeah.
By the Bosnian population.
Yeah, we definitely we hit the lottery. They didn't get the lottery. We did.
Yeah.
They're awesome. So yeah, I kind of, that's another thing for 2025 is being grateful. I wrote a whole page, 2 pages of, the other day I was just sitting down and I said, you know what? I'm feeling too pessimistic. I'm getting too wound up in current events and what's going on. And I started thinking about, how can I get out of this? I'm going to just write down everything that I'm grateful for right now.
Beautiful.
And it didn't even take any thought. I just let my pen go and I started writing. Here's what I'm grateful for. Filled 2 notebook pages. And
you didn't even think about it.
Didn't even think about it. Just let it flow.
Right.
And I'm so grateful. And it came down to I'm grateful to be born in the United States. I'm so grateful that I'm a Missourian. I'm grateful that I have a beautiful wife who loves me. And it just kept all coming out,
You have hot water.
Yeah, hot water. I can flip a switch and make my house warmer by 2 degrees if I want to. It's amazing. Yes. Absolutely amazing. Because I've lived without. You've lived without.
Sure.
And I know what it's like on the other side. And I just feel blessed. So blessed in so many ways. Just even to the job that I have is a blessing. as crazy as that, I would never have say that in my life before. A job was always like a chain around my neck. Like, oh man, I got to go to work. It sucks. Except when I was in the fire department, I loved it. I actually was a paid fireman full time. I was a part-time fireman. I would pick up part-time shifts, and I was also a volunteer fireman where I would respond to my local community. So,
would they accept you today, considering your mustache doesn't cover your entire mouth?
I got a little bit more to go. I'm working on it. I think it's all the gray in my beard that would keep me from getting hired now. I'm pretty old.
Are you going to start waxing it?
No.
Okay.
I like to leave it floppy.
All right.
Get the mustard in it and stuff like that.
That's nasty.
When my wife tells me to shave it, I'll shave it. But until then, it stays. Something else I wrote out is to slow down and enjoy my life. That's where the writing gratitude, slow down, because I'm a very intense person. I tend to attack things very quickly, and you've seen this in me, where if I have a task to accomplish, it's going to be done now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to slow down, be more thoughtful, more methodic, and take my time because there's no rush.
Right. You and me have a lot in common with that.
Yeah.
I'm getting better at it. I was a lot like you a number of years ago doing the same things. I couldn't tell you in my office how many times I broke a pen, not by snapping it in half, but by throwing it against my desk so hard it would break. Those days are long past.
Yeah.
Because I figured out that it didn't make sense to react that way.
Yeah.
And, I understand, the hot moment. Mm-hmm. We all have them.
Yeah.
But you need to learn how to recover from it quickly.
Well, that's the thing about fire. You can use it to warm yourself. You can use it to cook your food, or you can use it to burn down an entire city. It's up to you how you use it, and you have to control it. I think George Washington had something about fire like that. I didn't come up with that myself. Somebody else said that.
Too bad.
Yeah, but it's true. You could, I've seen somebody's entire life devastated by fire. But I've also seen homeless people using a fire to keep themselves warm so they could survive the night. It's very strange. And I think the way that we react to people, our passion that we have for life, our intensities are very much the same. My intensity and passion has done great damage in my life before. And so I learned I need to harness this for good.
Do you worry about what's going on tomorrow?
Ooh. That's a very deep question, Kevin. Yes, I do worry about what's going on tomorrow. But it's also in my mind that I shouldn't be worried about what's going on tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's a weird battle that goes on in my head.
It is. I think that's a challenge with most of us.
Yeah.
I recently had, it was breakfast that I had with my family and some friends who stayed the night after New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Made them breakfast. They were having a discussion. They were talking about what was going on around them and some of the things that they were talking about. And this is, to be clear, this is an 18 to 20 year age group overall, with a couple of outliers, like mom and dad.
Yeah.
And the thing was that the more they kept talking, the more they were working themselves up. Not to the point of anxiety, but enough that it was putting doubt in their own head. And, I told them straight out, I said that today's the day you worried about yesterday. Mm-hmm. And they stared at me. What are you talking about, Dad? And I said, well, think about it. You're worried about what's going on. This is going to happen to you. This person's not going to like you anymore. I don't know how I'm going to handle this situation. And then you get into the next day and you made it. And then, so that thing that you worried about yesterday or you worried about today was yesterday. And then here you are today.
Yeah.
And don't stress it so much. And, it's good to plan. It's good to think about. I mean, you have to do that. Otherwise, you're not going to be successful in your endeavors.
Yeah.
But you know what? Take some of the worry out.
Yeah. Well, that's planning and preparation will relieve so much anxiety about the future. When you're planning, when you have a plan in place and you've prepared, then what is there to worry about? Because you know you've planned it out, you're prepared for what's to come. Now, obviously, a comet could fall from the sky, but what are you going to do about that?
Right.
Why would you worry about it?
Right.
Yeah.
It should be something that you should consider in your decision making.
Yeah.
But don't
contingencies.
Right. Don't make it dominate your life.
No. Have you ever written? I'm sure you have. You were an officer in the Army. You've written op orders before, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And when you do an op order, there's was it 5 paragraphs, right?
Yes.
Situation, mission, execution, service support, command and signal, and then troops, right?
And you got the commander's intent. That's squeezed in there.
Yeah. If you use that model in your life, what's the situation? It's this. Okay, well, what's my mission? What am I supposed to accomplish here? This. How am I going to execute that? Oh, well, there's a lot of different options. That's when you can elicit people. Hey, wife, this is our situation. Here, how can we execute this together? And if you look at that, well, maybe everybody should just go buy themselves a Ranger handbook and learn about Rogers Rangers. But yeah, that's the planning process. And if you were to just take a bunch of troops and say, hey, we need to go take this hill, let's go. It's going to be chaos. It's chaos. Because everybody has their own idea of what taking a hill means and how we're going to do it. But if you sit down and say, this is the commander's intent, this is the mission we need to accomplish, here's how we're going to execute it, here's the people who are going to be supporting us to execute this and to accomplish this mission, everybody's on the same page, let's go. That worry about what's going to happen goes away because you have the crew serve weapons are going to open up over here. You got indirect fires coming in to prep the objective. You have the sappers are going to go blow a hole in the wire, and then we're going to go in and do this. And everybody has a job, and you're focused on your own specific mission. You're not worried about what's going to happen when we get there. You know what's going to happen when we get there because we're going to accomplish our mission, period. I think that's a good way to look at goal setting, maybe. I should probably revisit that myself more.
Right.
Because I know how to do it. I just need to remember.
I actually delivered an op order to one of my employees in 2024.
Oh, really?
But he didn't know it was an op order.
Sure, yeah.
I delivered it to him in such a way that it met all the op order criteria.
Yeah.
But you know what? It made me feel better.
Well, yeah, as a commander or as somebody who's in a management position or leadership position, you are relieving anxiety because the people who you're giving your objectives to, they know the mission, they know how to execute it, and they know they're going to be supported by you, and so they move forward with confidence.
Right. Which that's a good segue for us to say 2024 was odd.
Yeah.
It's behind us. Mm-hmm. And nothing you can do about it.
Nope.
So time to drop it.
Yeah.
And to know that we're moving forward with 2025 in an optimistic way and that we are going to structurally make our foundation stronger and build those things that you and I have been wanting to work on.
Yeah. You got to do the maintenance too.
Yeah.
Maintain what you have. Don't give up. Don't give up what you got in 2024. Maintain. I think it would be a good thing if people emailed us and told us maybe how, what are some things you're looking forward to in 2025? And we could read them in the next show. Idea. Yeah. All right. So at showmemk@gmail.com. showmemk@gmail.com, all lowercase. Email us what you think about what your 2024 was like and what you're looking forward to in 2025. Let us know if you have any whiskeys you want us to try.
And tell us about our name.
If you'd like to buy a bottle of whiskey for the show for us to try, we would love that.
Oh, absolutely.
That would be awesome. So you know how to get a hold of us. Email us. Thank you for listening. Share the show around. Put it on social media. Tell everybody to listen in.
Great time, Matt.
This was really fun today.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Let's do this. Bye, folks.
Bye.